Joining us now is a member of Congress who held her own town hall on Tuesday night. Jill Tokuda is a Democrat who represents Hawaii's 2nd congressional district. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being with us. I'm going to get your reaction to what we saw just there with Congressman Flood and some of the just really harsh town halls that Republicans have been dealing with, where voters are really expressing their anger. But in terms of what's happening in your congressional district, we are living in extraordinary times, as you know, Congressman, just in terms of tariffs or, the U.S.'s realignment or rapprochement with Russia, for example. Also, the U.S. openly defying court orders on immigration, on deportation. I mean, these really are extraordinary times. Just walk us through what your constituents want from you.
Well, I will tell you that these are extraordinary times that we are living in, and people are demanding action. That's what I saw last night when I was in Maui. We had over 400 people for our town. That's a big deal. That's probably one of the largest, if not the largest, town halls that has ever been held on Maui. And people were emotional. They were angry. They had questions. How can the Trump administration do these things? Openly defy the courts, enter the Institute of Peace, a nonpartisan, independent organization. How can they even be looking at cutting Medicaid, critical lifelines, Social Security, SNAP, the ability for people to feed themselves? There was a lot of anger, definitely focused on the Trump administration, and they want actions, and that's what they're demanding right now. It's personal to them, and I think that's what you see in town halls across the country. The cuts that are being made are deeply personal to people. They impact their ability to take care of themselves and their loved ones.
So what can you, as a Democrat, actually do? I mean, there's been so much made of the fact that some of the response and some of the ability to fight back are the ways in which Democrats are fighting back. Some people are referring to it as weak, somewhat performative. The Democrats aren't doing enough. What options do Democrats actually have right now?
You know, that's a question that kept coming up last night. And first thing I think people have to understand is we feel that anger and frustration too. It's hurting our families just like it's hurting other families. It hurts us that we can't block horrible CRs that ultimately will result in cuts to veterans, that will hurt affordable housing programs. It's frustrating that when we vote no, we can't actually stop bad bills like that from actually passing forward. What I talked to our constituents last night is that we have to continue to push back in every possible way, whether it's through legislation, whether it's letters to the administration, whether it's trying to sit down with our colleagues from the other side of the aisle to say that this is going to hurt you as much, if not more in many cases, if these cuts and these actions continue to go through. It's about putting the human face on inhumane cuts that we are seeing. Literally right now, I'm collecting over 100 stories from constituents in just a short amount of time about the pain and suffering that's coming from these cuts. People have lost jobs. People are worried about whether they can even stay in Hawaii and afford to live here because they're afraid of their Social Security getting cut. All of these different things, putting that face to the harms, continuing to push back with our actions. These are things that we have to continue to do. And I can assure you that every which way Democrats can find to make gains, including going into Republican territory and talking and listening to their constituents when they won't, that's the kind of stuff we have to continue to do.
We played a clip before I came to you from just really explosive scenes from town halls hosted by Congressman Flood, who we actually had on yesterday. But obviously, he's not the only one, right? Republicans across the country are dealing with these sorts of explosive town halls. And actually, Republican leadership are actually telling some of their members to avoid in-person town halls because of this. What is your reaction to that?
This is not the moment. I don't care what side of the aisle you are. This is not the moment to stop going out and reaching out to constituents. Look at the anger, look at the passion. I saw that last night in my own town hall. I've seen it through town halls throughout my district. People are afraid and they're scared. And right now is the time to meet that moment and rise up as members of Congress, as elected leaders, as humans. Don't run away. Don't hide. If you're embarrassed or guilty or shamed, do something about it. Change your vote. Stand up to the Musk-Trump administration. That's what your people are asking for. This is not the time to run and hide. Democrats are meeting this moment. We are holding these town halls. We are getting difficult questions that we don't have great answers to right now. We are just as frustrated. But if there's one thing we won't do, is we won't back down from the people that elected us to serve and to make sure that they had a voice in Congress. And so to everyone and my colleagues in Congress, these are tough halls, yes, but it's because our people are afraid, and this is the time when they need us the most. So do your job. Hold a town hall.
Congresswoman Jill Tokuda, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.